Hello and welcome. I'm Hrish, co-founder and CEO of SuperWorld, a virtual world in augmented reality where creativity and entrepreneurship come together on one decentralized platform. From the Empire State Building to the Sydney Opera House to some of the more obscure places on Earth, in SuperWorld, our world is yours. Yours to buy, yours to sell, yours to create, and yours to explore. SuperWorld is mapped on top of the real world to create over 64 billion unique plots of land, with each plot measuring roughly 100 meters by 100 meters of real-world space. To give you an idea, one plot of SuperWorld AR real estate is about the size of Yankee Stadium. Ready to get started? Find land to cultivate for its strategic real estate location as a digital asset or that holds sentimental value for you. Buying and selling virtual real estate in SuperWorld is easy, as all transactions take place securely on the Ethereum blockchain, and every plot of land is represented by a non-fungible token on the ERC 721 standard. Personalize your world in AR through interactive 3D objects, animation, photos, videos, and text to truly make a world of your own. Ready to find your peace on Earth? Join us in SuperWorld.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SuperWorld show live, where we're going to introduce you to the SuperWorld. And today, together with our CEO and founder of SuperWorld, Hrish, we're going to tell you about our latest new feature, worlds, and what can you do with this amazing, exciting new thing that we brought into SuperWorld recently. So hello everybody, and Hrish, maybe you would like to also share a few words for the start.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone that's celebrating. We're having a very special Thanksgiving edition of SuperWorld Show Live. We're excited to talk about creating worlds today. And this is something that we've been talking about from the very beginning of our vision at SuperWorld, is that, I have a world, you have a world, brands have worlds, and we want to enable anyone to be able to create their own curated map of the world. And again, we'll go more into the vision of SuperWorld, but really the idea here is that we want to enable anyone for themselves, for their business, for a philanthropic cause, literally anything that you're working on, whether it's a football team to an organization that you're involved in your work or school. There's an opportunity to build a virtual world for anything. This kind of reminds me of the mid 90s or the late 90s when websites were just becoming a thing. And many people out there probably don't have a virtual world yet. Well, now you can do that. In SuperWorld, you can build your own virtual world. So very excited to talk about this new product, and love to learn from all of you of how we can continue to improve the product. So a very exciting show today.
Perfect. So let's go and let's tell people shortly for the start what we're going to discuss today exactly. So of course, as I already mentioned, we're going to talk about SuperWorld. We're going to introduce you to this week's offers, and later we're going to discuss the worlds feature. What can you do with worlds? What exciting worlds are already there on our platform? And then in the end, we're going to have a Q&A where you can ask us anything that you want about the worlds feature especially. If you have any questions or any comments throughout the session, please share them with us. Also, don't be shy to say hello to us, or also maybe even share with us where are you watching us from. Maybe you're also watching us from the Thanksgiving table, so that can also count. And let's move on, and I'll ask you, Hrish, now, especially, of course, to the new people, to share a few words about yourself.
Yeah, happy to. For anyone who hasn't met me or doesn't know me, happy to give you a little bit of background on myself. I kind of started in a range of different industries before founding SuperWorld. So I started off in management consulting, worked on Wall Street and investment banking, started off in real estate investment banking of all places, and then ended up in M&A and coverage investment banking. Was at UBS investment bank and HSBC in New York. And then joined a venture capital firm in New York, worked for an amazing investor named Adam Stern, who's actually one of our investors in SuperWorld as well. Learned a lot from him. And then had this idea to start a venture capital fund somewhere in the emerging markets. Ended up going all over Eastern Europe and starting a early stage fund in Ukraine with a couple of partners called East Labs, and investing in a lot of early stage companies out there. We wrote the first check to Preply, which is the largest online tutoring marketplace in the world that some of you might have heard of. Also on the board of Tech Minsk, which is based in Minsk, Belarus. The company that Facebook acquired that does all the face filters for Instagram and Facebook is a company called MSQRD. They went through Tech Minsk and got acquired by Facebook. So I had early exposure to AR through that company. And then after that was an early team member, first biz dev at TopTal, which is a talent marketplace backed by Andreessen Horowitz, helped grow and scale TopTal, learned a lot there. And then prior to SuperWorld, started Rogue Initiative Studios, which is a film, television, gaming, and virtual reality studio in Los Angeles. My co-founder had produced Call of Duty, Modern Warfare series, and Ghosts, and our production partner there is Michael Bay, the action director. And at Rogue Initiative, we work on creating new franchises. And what I learned from this experience is, a Michael Bay movie and a Call of Duty game are really the same thing. They're built in an engine, right? Unreal Engine, Unity Engine, interactive, immersive content, linear content, it's all kind of coming together in engines. And you can really, create any kind of content in an engine. And what had happened was about 6 years ago, Pokemon Go came out and became this huge hit, and people are running around the world looking for Pokemon. And I got together with my co-founder, his name is Max Woon, and we'd met because we'd worked together on the YouTube platform. And Max and I thought, what if we could build a world? What if we could enable anyone to be able to create their own world, to create, discover, and monetize anything, anywhere? In other words, if we couldn't build the next Pokemon Go, what if we could build a place where the next 1,000 Pokemon Go's could get built onto? In other words, how could we empower anyone to build a virtual world on top of the real world and in real world locations? And that became the vision of SuperWorld. So very excited to talk to you about our worlds feature, as I mentioned today, which is really, the very inception of what we have talked about since the very beginning of our founding of SuperWorld.
Okay, amazing. And also, I would like to mention also throughout the session, you'll be able to scan the QR code that you can see at the top left corner of the screen, especially if you're watching us from the computer, as well as on YouTube and on Twitch. You already have the link to our link tree, and all the relevant links and offers and anything else that will be mentioned throughout the session, you will be able to access it through that link. So if you're curious, you can already check this out, or just do it throughout the session when we discuss all the relevant topics for today. So thanks, Hrish. And of course, I would like you to tell, especially the new people, what is SuperWorld? What exactly is our platform?
So the vision of SuperWorld is that we, again, inspired by what we saw with Pokemon Go and what Niantic had done, which again, it was really amazing, and they're doing amazing work. We thought, what if we could empower anyone to build a virtual world on top of the real world? And so SuperWorld is a virtual world built on top of the real world. We're in it right now. It's all around us. You have a world, I have a world, brands have worlds. There's an unlimited number of filters on the world. So if I come to New York or LA or Tokyo or Madrid or London, anywhere in the world, you could say, Hrish, why don't you check out my world? And I could walk around and you've left me things. You've left a hologram of yourself somewhere, taking me on a tour of a neighborhood. You've left photos and videos in different places. You've left 3D digital twins of a house or a commercial real estate building that I can go inside and take a look and learn about. You've basically personalized the real world in augmented reality. And the type of content, to be clear, can be anything. It could be AR, VR, 3D, 2D, audio, literally any type of content anywhere. And so that first analogy I use to explain SuperWorld is Pokemon Go. It's an analogy for adding digital information to the real world. The second analogy I use is Foursquare. It's a data analogy. On the data side, what we're building is what I call live to earn, which is the analogy for how can we enable tokenization and mechanisms that are related to gamification. How can we bring those into your real life, into things that you love to do in real life? How could I get Nike to incentivize you to run a marathon, or Virgin Unite to have you do something amazing for your community? How could I have Bacardi incentivize you to go to an event? So the idea here is, how do we bring tokenization and gaming mechanics into real life so you can do what you love? And then another big part of our vision is, how can we collectively build a virtual world that actually enhances humanity? Can we build a better world building a decentralized virtual world? So we've partnered with the World Bank in the Caribbean. We've had tribes in the Amazon jungle create digital art so people could learn about deforestation. We did a couple of beach cleanups in the last month with Green Zone. And so again, the platform is being really used to make the world a better place. And that's a big part of our mission at SuperWorld. I always say the world needs SuperWorld. Like the world needs Superman, the world needs SuperWorld. The third analogy is monopoly. We've taken the surface of the earth and we've divided it into 64 billion virtual blocks, 0.01, 0.01 longitude, latitude covering Earth. And each one of those is a geospatial media asset. It's each one's priced unpurchased about 100 Matic, which is about $80 in today's prices. And if you buy one of those plots, you benefit from all the monetization that happens there: advertising, e-commerce, digital commerce, data analytics, gaming, DeFi. The idea is that we want you to be able to activate monetization in real world locations. And as a virtual real estate owner, to be able to activate monetization from user activity that's happening there. And so again, you can become a stakeholder anywhere on Earth. And again, that's the vision of SuperWorld, and happy to, again, as we talk today, we'll be showing you more of the platform and worlds and other things.
Yeah, so speaking of that, I think it would be a great idea to give people a quick tour around our platform.
Okay, great. So let me walk you through that and show you what we've built. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to show you how our property ecosystem works. So every week we highlight a new place in the world. This week we have a promotion in Silicon Valley. And so the map starts in Silicon Valley. So if you love places in Silicon Valley, it's a great week to buy property, virtual real estate in Silicon Valley. See all these numbers here? Shows you how many properties have been acquired in this area. So lots of amazing places in Silicon Valley. A lot of people who are listening to this are in the tech world. So you might have places, or you might live out there, but lots of amazing places to buy in that part of the world. I'm going to skip over to New York City just to give you a sense for the movement of the map. And again, people buy properties everywhere. So you can see those numbers kind of light up. Those are the numbers of properties purchased in different locations. I'm just going to refresh there a second. So you see about, it looks like about 400 properties have been purchased in this kind of region. Okay. I'm going to zoom in on the map, and everything you see in blue, that's a property that's already been purchased. So if I click on the map anywhere, you'll see that it says make an offer. So that means someone else owns this property, and to click and buy it, I'd have to make an offer on a property. It's already owned. If I click anywhere on the map, on a property that's uncolored, you see that kind of highlights in yellow. This means I can buy this property. And again, today's price, it's $77 US, about 100 Matic to buy that. And then if I buy a property and I want to reprice it, it'll turn orange, right? So if I click here on this orange property, you can see that this one's been repriced $145,000. This one's at $139,000. The idea is that you can reprice properties for any price that you wish. Most people have not repriced their properties. Most people are very interested in holding and maybe getting an offer on their properties, but everyone can, have the opportunity to reprice their properties or list them, as we say. And then I'll show you what we've built with SI Tickets. Sports Illustrated. So they've added 250,000 events into SuperWorld. And so you can go in any city and find tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events. There's no fees at checkouts. It's the same seats that you're buying, but at better prices. So come over to SuperWorld and buy tickets to sporting events. But I'll show you how this works. So if I click in on the map here, this looks like it's an NBA in-season tournament, the New York Knicks versus the Miami Heat at Madison Square Garden. Okay. So if I zoom in and I buy tickets to this game, and you own virtual real estate in this location, well, you'll get paid from that ticket sale as well. So you can actually own virtual real estate in locations where monetization can occur, and you would benefit as well from that monetization. So you become a stakeholder in a real world location. And that's an example of a ticketing filter. In this case, the SI Tickets ticketing filter, right? But there's an unlimited number of filters on the world. And that's where, the idea of worlds comes from. So anyone can create their own curated map of the world, which then has monetization in real world locations. And each one of those worlds is another filter of monetization in real world locations. And just so you get a sense for what else you can do, you can add 3D content into real world locations as well. So it could be something like, a photo that can be viewed in 3D. This is just a piece of artwork on the street. It could be, more of a drawing or kind of a 3D.
See, so now?
So if you go to the side, is it gonna look like a big spiral?
Uh-huh, yeah, see? Oh.
Literally, you can do almost anything. It's 3D, 2D, audio, any type of files can be added into a real world location. Just to kind of give you a sense for just going inside of a capsule, right? And if you're in these locations, you can also view this on your mobile phone, or even anywhere in the world. You can view it on your mobile phone and you'll see it in augmented reality. So the idea is you can add immersive content, Web3, NFTs, digital assets, and generative AI integrations into the map in real world locations. That gives you a high level kind of overview of what we're doing there in SuperWorld.
Great. So I think now it's the moment to introduce people to this week's offers.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, this week we're highlighting Silicon Valley. So if you are a fan of the show, or you live in Silicon Valley, or you used to work in Silicon Valley, A lot of awesome virtual real estate there. We have a promotion in Silicon Valley this week: buy 3 properties, get 2 properties free anywhere in the world, or buy 20 properties in Silicon Valley and get 15 bonus properties anywhere in the world. It's the best way to acquire properties, is take advantage of our weekly deals. And this week it's in Silicon Valley. So come over there and find places you love. Our second offer is our diplomat offer. We have, a lot of our super citizens, as we call them, that own virtual real estate become diplomats. And so we created an offer just for anyone to start off and become a diplomat. You need 5 plots of SuperWorld to become a diplomat. And so by taking advantage of this offer, you can automatically become a diplomat. Buy 5 plots of virtual real estate anywhere in the world, and you'll get 5 bonus plots anywhere in the world for free. You can join us as a diplomat, and that enables you to, again, we'll want to highlight what you're doing around the world. We want to partner with you in a variety of ways as a diplomat. We want to invite you to our brainstorming sessions that we hold with diplomats on product, access to events and other special invites, etc. But the idea is, of SuperWorld, as I mentioned, is we're building a decentralized virtual world that everyone can own together. And our diplomats are evangelists, they're community leaders, they're helping to build a better world. And we want to partner with our diplomats wherever they are in the world. So this is an amazing way to go ahead and start and become a diplomat right away. Buy 5 plots of virtual real estate and get 5 anywhere in the world for free.
Great. So I also saw a question from Forever Rich. We're going to answer by all the questions in the end, so don't worry. We saw your question, and I just say. And so now we are moving forward to the topic of the week, which are worlds and what we can create there. We already gave people a brief idea of that, and now it's the moment to really dive into the topic.
Yeah. So, the idea here is, SuperWorld is a virtual world that covers Earth. We're in it right now. As I said, it's all around us. And one way to represent that is a map, right? And so you saw the map interface that I showed off earlier. And if you think of a way of curating that map and sharing that map, and benefiting from sharing that map, that's what our vision here. And again, you can jump into the map, like we're in the map, right? And so, a lot of people think of a map as a tool to maybe navigate or go from one place to another, or to identify where they are in the world. But at SuperWorld, the way we think of the world is a way to create, discover, monetize, and own the world around you. And it's a very big vision, as I mentioned to you. And the beauty of that is, as we represent that map is going to be a lot more vibrant and compelling and functional than any map ever created. And the beauty of it is, to be clear, we're built on all of the latest technologies. We're cross-platform. So we're built on Google, we're built on Apple, we're built on Mapbox, we're built on Bing Maps. We've integrated with Eighth Wall, Niantic's technology, ARKit from Apple, ARCore. So the idea is that we're using all of the best technology that comes out in mapping. And there's a lot coming out. From Google has made some announcements, which we're very excited about, in mapping. And all of those things are coming to SuperWorld's map. But the real benefit here is that we've also integrated with Web3. And so you're able to actually own the map, right? You're able to own the places in the real world that you care about. and you can benefit from the monetization there through virtual real estate, but also through your world. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. I'm sure a lot of you have, maybe visited a city, or you have friends that are visiting a place that you live in, or maybe you lived in, and they ask you, "Hey, I'm going to be in this city. What can I do, or where should I go?" Right? And this is exactly why you need to come over and create your world. So you come over and you create your world in SuperWorld for yourself, for your business, for both. It doesn't matter. And when someone asks you, hey, I'm going to be in XYZ city, and it could be anywhere in the world, you could have content or restaurants or activations in those locations that your friends can discover and click on and view, click on and maybe buy something, click on and discover content, click on and, interact with something. And, again, I talked to you about the different types of content: immersive content, Web3, NFTs, generative AI. We'll add more and more. But the idea is, when you share your map with your friends or your customers, all of the things that they do in your map, you will benefit from. So you benefit from user activity in your world. And that's the idea of worlds. Is it's a place that you can, again, display content for yourself or your brand or a philanthropic cause, your team, you name it, anywhere in the world. The type of content can be anything. It could be 3D, it could be 2D, it could be AR, it could be VR. You could add links, you could add YouTube videos, you could add TikTok videos. The possibilities are really endless, and we're adding more and more capabilities to that. You can create a business profile on the map, even if you don't have a physical business in that location, because remember, your world is a virtual world. So if you want to put your business in Dubai and you're located in Miami and you own a virtual business, you can do that, right? So the opportunities are really limitless there on the map side and in worlds. And then again, the idea is that we want you to benefit from monetization from the activity that takes place in your world. If someone buys tickets to something, if someone buys a product, if someone discovers a product or interacts with the product, the idea is that we want to add that layer and filters of the world that you can also pull from. So what I mean by that is, if there's content in someone else's world, let's say you have a favorite artist and you tell your favorite artist, hey, have you checked out SuperWorld? And they come to SuperWorld and they create a world. And you can now take the art that they've placed in their world and you can repost it into your world. And so if I come into your world and discover that favorite artist, and let's say I go to a show or buy the art, then you also benefit because I discovered that art or discovered that ticketing in your world. And so we want the ability for users to be able to create their own world, but also, repost. You can think of it as like a retweet or a reshare of a post, repost from another world into your world. So give you sense for some of the use cases there that worlds can be used for.
Okay, great. So let's share the screen again and show people some of the worlds that are there, and also give people an idea of how can they post content in worlds, and how can they create the worlds.
Sure. So, again, if I click on worlds here, it gives you a sense for how worlds work. So I'll click on, one of the featured worlds, which actually we had on last week. We had the choice community last week, and, they have content all over the world on the map. It zooms in on Milan because that is where they had their Global Digital Pride festival last week. And so they've added content onto the map in Milan. So I can kind of zoom in click and show off that content, right? And again, they have a variety of things here. They have a piece of, or they have a 3D kind of piece of content here that I can, either go into web AR and view that content in 3D. Let me see here. I think she's, yeah, there you go. He's like flying in the air. There you go.
Hrish, I think we can still only see the general map.
Oh, okay. I was just making the.
Oh, now we can see.
Yeah. I was making. I'm sorry. I was making this figurine fly around. Let me go back here. So again, that was just a 3D like flying fairy. There's like content here that they were voting for artwork. So you can, go into AR and see this artwork in this location. Okay. And you can vote on it. I think there you go. I think I'm sharing now. So this is the artwork we just looked at. You can view it in a specific location. But the idea is, you can, in their map of the world, anywhere in the world, they can share content, they can sell NFTs, they can use generative AI to upload content, to upload 3D, and they can do that in real world locations anywhere in the world, right? So you see, like, their world has content all over. In places that they care about. Same thing here. Green Zone is another world. They're based in South Texas, in Brownsville. So you see how the map starts off in Brownsville. And you can see like some of their projects that they've done in terms of some beach cleaning. So they have a goal of recycling. And so they're going to, show off some of the stuff that they've done in terms of projects there, in terms of recycling. There you go. And so the idea is that you can see what they've done. You can see their projects. You can view content that they've placed in other areas. Magma has a world. We have lots of worlds that are being created. And then there's a feed. So you can see content that's been placed in real world locations in this feed. And this feed that I'm looking at right now is basically a feed of all the world. So you could do that as well. See all the content that's been placed around the world on the map in this feed. And it'll just, it takes a little bit of time to populate. But as you kind of zoom in, things pop up. And then you can go here and you can see all the worlds that have been created or being created, right? In SuperWorld. And we just launched last week, so we're still in alpha, but we have a number of worlds that have been created already. I think we're
Hrish,
maybe let's do it.
We also need to show one amazing world that was created by Altered Alley and the challenge that he has created with SuperWorld.
Oh, okay. Let me show that off. So yeah, here it is, Altered Alley's world. He's created a global treasure hunt around the world in different locations. So you can see all the different content that exists in Altered Alley's world. And he literally has a global treasure hunt, and he wants you to go to all these real world locations and see content from that treasure hunt. So you can see a bit of some of the stuff that he's posted. So it's geolocated around the world. He's done this cross-platform. So part of it's in SuperWorld, part of it's in Spatial IO, which is really cool because he, kind of show off the fact that in SuperWorld, We're very cross-platform, so you can create content anywhere in other platforms, and you can put that content into SuperWorld, which is really awesome, right? So you don't have to be stuck to any platform. You can create something in spatial, you can put it in SuperWorld. You can create something on YouTube, you can put it in SuperWorld. This is kind of your repository for everything that brings together your virtual and physical life. So thanks for reminding me about this. But yeah, Altered Alley has this really amazing project where he's really built this global scavenger hunt. And you see that all the content that he's adding everywhere in the world.
You'll also find the link to the treasure hunt in our link tree, so you can also see more details there. Yeah, so we already mentioned all the interesting use cases, and also remembered to mention that actually one of the first worlds that was created was the one by SI Tickets.
Yeah, that's right. So SI Tickets, which I showed you, again, they added 250,000 live concerts, sporting events, and theater events to SuperWorld. And, they created their first world, which is event-based. But the idea is if you're a fan, you can go into Superworld and you can add content into those real world locations where those events are. So you can add content to those worlds. SI Tickets can add content to that world. And so the idea is that that was the first world that launched, first big brand partnership. But we have lots of other brand partnerships that have also already been created. I think we went over a few of them tonight. Green Zone and Altered Alley, Magma, which is our digital twin partner. And we have lots more coming in terms of brand partnerships into the world's product. The world's product is pretty amazing because it's really easy to understand for brands and organizations, because it gives you this power to display from any type of content source, any type of medium, and bring that all in one place. And people on the ground, wherever they are, if they're a fan of your product, you can put content in New York City if that's where they are, or if your customers are in Miami. And brands nowadays are very global, or should be global. And so you can be very global from day one as a brand in SuperWorld. So Worlds is really going to revolutionize your ability to create and discover and monetize anything anywhere.
Yeah, and also we would like to encourage people to create their own worlds and their own perspectives.
Yeah. Anyone can create a world. So again, it's not just for brands; it's for yourself. It's for your team. Your football team, your soccer team, whatever it happens to be. You can create a world. You can create a world for your rock band. We have so many different worlds being created, so many ideas. One of our investors was talking about, he's a fan of punk rock and wants to create a world as a fan of one of his bands that is played all over the world, and to kind of commemorate the concerts of that band in all the places that they've played. So if you're a fan of that band, you can see all their concerts all over the world through history, right? Which is really cool. So it just gives you a sense for all the ways that this can really benefit not only communities, but individuals, philanthropic causes. We have another world that I'll mention called Met Amazonia, and they're in the Amazon jungle. And they've built a world showcasing the work they're doing in the Amazon with tribes and VR content that they've built in the Amazon jungle for you to see the things that they're doing there. So that world is called Met Amazonia, which is really cool. But the idea is that there's just so many ideas for worlds and so many worlds that are being built. So I'd love for you, if you're listening to this, come over and create a world. And you'll also earn SuperWorld X when you come over and create your first world as well. So we've talked a bit about SuperWorld X, but you get SuperWorld X for everything you do in SuperWorld. So come over to SuperWorld and create your own world and earn SuperWorld X for that. And communities and agencies are also a great, group or entity to create worlds. So if you have an agency and you're creating immersive content for brands, you're creating AR, VR content, and you want to showcase the type of things that you're building, we highly recommend coming over and creating a world and showcasing the content that you create in real world locations. So, and you can share that with the brands that you're interested in. They can come over to SuperWorld and see exactly how you're creating, XR content, or if you're, creating NFT type integrations, you can do that in a real world location. So if you're an NFT community, a great way to showcase your NFTs in real world locations as well. And I think we're going to go over our offers again, just really quick.
Just for the ones that joined a little bit later.
Yeah. So if you missed it earlier in the call, we're highlighting Silicon Valley this week. Buy 3 properties in Silicon Valley, get 2 bonus properties anywhere in the world, or buy 20 properties in Silicon Valley and get 15 anywhere in the world. So if you love Silicon Valley, if you're a fan of the show, or you live there, you're in the tech industry, or you just live there in general, we always highlight a new place in the world every week. And this is a great week to buy virtual real estate in Silicon Valley. Lots of awesome properties out there. So come over and check it out. And properties start at about, I think, $78 right now in today's prices, something like that. 100 Matic. So great time to buy Silicon Valley. And we have an offer, which is our Diplomat offer. Buy 5 plots of virtual real estate in SuperWorld. You automatically become a Diplomat. So you need 5 virtual real estate plots to become a Diplomat. And with this offer, you get 5 bonus plots anywhere in the world. And as a Diplomat, we get you engaged in our Diplomat calls. We want to partner with you, showcase the work that you're doing around the world. And Diplomats are our evangelists. They're our community leaders around the world for SuperWorld. Our vision, again, is to build a decentralized world that everyone can own, that improves people's lives and improves the world. And Diplomats are at the forefront of that. So we'd love to have you. If anyone hasn't bought virtual real estate or hasn't been involved in SuperWorld, this is a great way to get started. Take advantage of the Diplomat offer. Come over and buy 5 plots anywhere in the world, your favorite places, and you'll get 5 bonus plots for free.
Yeah, so I guess that we have reached the end of the session, and we're going to still have a quick recap of what people learned today, and then we're going to move on to the Q&A.
Great. So as a recap, one of the main things that we've talked about in terms of our vision from the very beginning is we're enabling anyone to create a world on top of the real world. That's what SuperWorld's about. It's about how can we give you the tools to create, discover, and monetize anything, anywhere. And how can we give you the tools to build your own virtual world on top of the real world? And like I said at the beginning, this kind of reminds me of the early days of the internet. Most people didn't have websites. And I know that most people that I'm talking to right now who are listening to this don't have a world. And so this is an opportunity to come over to SuperWorld and be one of the first to create your own virtual world. Come over to SuperWorld, click on worlds, click on create a virtual world, look under your profile, you'll see your virtual world, and then go on the map and start adding content, any type of content, 3D, 2D, audio, 360 photos, 360 videos. You can add NFTs to real world locations. You could add YouTube videos, TikTok, Instagram, anything you want, anywhere. And the idea is that we want you to benefit from monetization from activity that happens in your world. And that's the vision of what we're building in terms of worlds. And you want to share your world with your customers, with your friends, with your teammates, your colleagues, and we'll add more and more functionality to that. And part of this Q&A that we're having as well is I'd love to hear from you if those of you who've already created worlds, and ideas on ways that we can improve and build worlds that give you more functionality for things that you're looking to do in world. So we're always looking to improve that product. We just launched it last week. But the big vision here is, as I said earlier, a lot of people think of a map as this kind of navigation tool. Like, how do I go from point A to point B, right? Or how do I put certain facts or like restaurants on the map? And that's kind of the extent of it. The beauty of what we're creating, to be clear, is we're cross-platform. So we've integrated with Google Maps, Bing Maps, Mapbox. We're on blockchain, we're on Ethereum, we're on Polygon. We're built on AR software like ARKit, ARCore, Niantic's Eighth Wall, Lightship ARDK. There's a lot of technology that we're integrating. So any of the advancements that are happening in mapping or augmented reality, those are all coming to SuperWorld. The benefit here is we're decentralized and we're cross-platform. And so you're able to own these places. You're able to own geospatial locations in the real world and create a world that you can also benefit from anywhere in the world. So there's a few ideas here, but I think the exciting thing is Worlds has launched and would love to see you come over and create a world. And looking forward to your questions.
Great. So for now, I see one question that was asked in the beginning. And the question is, can we purchase property with SWX?
Yes, you can. Basically, you can come over to SuperWorld. We sell SuperWorld X. It's our internal in-game currency. Just to be clear and to define it, it is not a cryptocurrency. SuperWorld X is our in-game currency. It allows you to also engage in peer-to-peer transactions, and we're going to be introducing peer-to-peer commerce very soon. But currently, yes, you can buy 1,000 SWX for about $50. And 1,000 SWX allows you to buy one property in SuperWorld. And so if you calculate it out, Forever Rich, you actually asked a really awesome question. It's actually cheaper to buy SuperWorld virtual real estate using SWX. So, again, we want to encourage people to buy SWX. So you could do that. You can use fiat, you can use a credit card, and you can come over and buy SWX. So feel free to do that. Otherwise, if you have Matic, you can buy SuperWorld property using Matic as well. It's about 100 Matic for unpurchased property.
For people new to crypto, what wallets do you recommend to store your plots?
That's a very good question. I think it brings up a very important point in terms of our vision. So thanks for asking, Krishna. The idea is, there's so many people who are in the mainstream that are new to crypto. And maybe they're new to AR, VR. right? Maybe they're new to artificial intelligence, generative AI tools, right? And so Superworld, our mission is to enhance people's real lives using this technology. And the idea is, a lot of people, when they come to Superworld, they might not completely understand the technologies. Maybe they're still trying to wrap their head around how are they going to use AR, VR, or crypto, or AI, or how can they use it in their personal life or their business. And I always say, they come to Superworld and they might not know those concepts exactly, but they do know places in the world. They know where they live. They know where they have a business. They know places in the world that are important to them. And they come to Superworld and they buy virtual real estate in those locations, right? Which kind of deals with your question. And once they buy that virtual real estate, guess what? Now they have a wallet and now they have crypto. And your question is a very important one, because the decision of which wallet they get if they're new to crypto is an important decision, or can be. So what we've done is we've really enabled almost any wallet. So you can, almost, if you have any preference for a wallet, you can do that in Superworld. MetaMask is probably one of the most popular wallets. Magic Connect is a wallet that's really easy. You don't need to you just need to just log in, and automatically sets you up with a wallet. So we find that is also a really easy one to do. And then we have other integrations like Coinbase Wallet, which a lot of people prefer because maybe they're already on Coinbase. And we have a connection with Wallet Connect, which just gives you lots of opportunities to connect with different wallets. So, what I recommend, Krishna, is maybe Magic Connect for you if you don't have a wallet, or MetaMask is a very popular wallet. And part of our value that we want to add to customers as well is, if you have any issues, if you have any questions about your wallet or how to get set up, just reach out to us. We have an awesome customer service team. We'll walk you through how to set up a wallet, how to, acquire virtual real estate. We'll help diagnose and problem solve. Part of this industry, and part of this is getting solved as these technologies are advancing and it becomes more seamless. But you're right, it is still kind of a challenge to figure out what wallet and exactly what to do. But that's what I would recommend. But if you have any questions, just email us, customer support at superworldapp.com. Again, the email is customer support at superworldapp.com, or we have a live chat on the website.
Yeah, Hrish, it's not, Hrish, I'm sorry, it's not customer support, it's just support at superworldapp.com.
Did we change it to just support?
Yes. And it's also, if you scan the QR code, or you're actually watching us from LinkedIn, so unfortunately here you couldn't, we couldn't post the link tree in the comment, but definitely if you scan the QR code, you'll be able to find that in the bottom.
Awesome. So it's shorter. It's support at superworldapp.com.
Exactly.
So even better. So yeah, just email us. But we have live chat on the website as well. So if you have any questions, we have lots of ways to reach us.
Yeah, and I think this was so this was basically the last question that I saw, but I also saw some people, people also writing very nice things, such as Krishna wishes Happy Thanksgiving, and Anafi says that he really appreciates you and the hard work that you're doing. So we also received some really lovely comments here.
Thanks, Krishna. Thanks forever, Rich.
Yeah, and so I think this will be for us the moment to close today's webinar. Thank you guys very much for watching us, for being here. Thank you. Like, it's Thanksgiving today, right? So thank you for building Superworld with us, and for being here with us and doing all the amazing things together with us, and being on our webinar every week, and watching us. That's something that I am grateful for today.
Yeah, thanks again. Happy Thanksgiving. Very thankful for our community. Again, to revoice what Marta was saying, we're all, building a world together, and very thankful for all of us who are working and building and creating. And there's so many communities that we bring together at SuperWorld, and we talked about some of them tonight. Choice and Green Zone and Magma and Altered Alley and just all of the other, brands and communities that really come together. And that's the real essence of what we're building is, as we bring more of these communities together into worlds, we can build a better world. We can improve the world. We can enrich the world around us, and we can give people the ability to, get to know the world wherever they are in the world. And that's very exciting to me. So I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, and looking forward to seeing you in SuperWorld.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Have a great evening, guys. See you.
Bye.
Bye.